Okay, where are we? Morning, gang. Good morning. The second part would be a great Christmas gift. Easter. Good morning, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what I've been doing the last few minutes, actually, I've done some persuading already. These last few streams, what I've been doing is following the same pattern. I do some persuading around the outside to clear the noisy stuff off, then I get in with the chisels. I was here a bit early this morning, about 20 minutes ago. So I've done a bunch of this morning's persuading already. So we'll move on to some quiet stuff. This room is so echoey, you know, and if I do too much banging, it's just no fun. So it's going to be a fairly quiet stream, I think, today here. Get some tools ready here. Hang on a sec. Okay, let's have a go here. Good job on the video. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's version 2. I did the whole thing front to back twice, once last week and once again this week. Compared the two of them last night, and I'm not really happy with either of them. They're too, not stressed, that's the wrong word, but whatever. There's a balance between talking naturally, enthusiastically, and then just going too blah, 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 coming out so fast, you're just barfing into the wind, and nobody can understand what you're saying. I played it back this morning, and this stuff, what did he say? I can't understand what he said. He's just talking too quickly. I can't find that balance between settling down and speaking sensibly, and you get to whatever. Enthusiasm is okay, I guess, but you get to to whatever. The sound of the new video is okay, because what I did with the video is it was all recorded. I'll have to put it away here. What's here behind me? I record the audio separately on those videos now. I can't record the audio to a live Twitch stream separately, obviously. It's just coming up with whatever's in the room here. But for the videos, what I do is I've got the mic on me, of course, and I record the audio to a Zoom HD recorder. It sits on the desk underneath me here. And the video, of course, is being recorded by the camera. We throw away the audio from the video stream. And then I take the audio and I post-process it. I've got, an audio processing program on the Mac here. And I post-process it. I take out some of the most vivid noises that I make, and I de-echo it a little bit, so it comes out clear, and I normalize it. But I can't do that on a live stream, obviously, so whatever. The other thing I do is, it's funny, if you were here watching, it'd be funny, when we were growing up watching people, when we were watching TV or something, there'd always be a scene about people making movies, and they had this thing with what's it called? They write some chalk stuff on it, and there's a thing at the top goes clap, bang, 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 like that. Something's called a clapperboard, I think. I never knew really what it was for. It was just that's part of what they do when they make movies. And I've learned now, since I started separating my audio and my video, I have to do the same thing. Because what happens is, because the audio and video are separate, when you're doing it back together, you can't really match it up by looking at somebody's mouth. So what I do is, I don't have a clapperboard, but I just sit there at the beginning of each stream, turn on the audio, turn on the video, get ready, and I just simply do a bang with my hands. And that acts as a synchronization when you're putting it back in the editing software. You can line up the audio and the video. So I learned that's what a clapperboard was for. Maybe I should get one. Yeah, you had to clap when I record a video for school. Yeah. Man from Mars. I don't recognize the reference, but all right. Anyway, I have to do some work here, so. Again, because it's carving, I can't watch all the questions go by, but I'll try and keep track of the stream here bit by bit. If there's a really important question, throw it to the question box where it will make an audio sound and I'll hear it. Other than that, I'll try and follow the chat as well as I can. Oh, and also there's an email. We've got a bunch of emails overnight. Most of them have gone to Cameron, I guess, but there's a common thread. I've seen already 3 or 4 emails with the same thing. Those prints I showed last night, are they for sale? No. They're right here, still beside me. It's my personal collection. They're the first prints I bought, and I'm going to keep them. that same set from Okariyosho, it's here. It was sold, I don't know, they sold maybe 300 sets or something in Japan in the 1970s and 1980s. So they come up now and then again in auctions here and there. We had a set in the shop, not a set, we had a broken set in the shop. I think there's still one left actually. If you write to Cameron, he can tell you what's there. They do come up now and then, and there's frequently a problem with them. They weren't really too careful with some of the printing. One of the printers, whatever, don't get a long story. Yudo sent it to different printers to do different batches, and it seems that at least one of the batches, either the paper was bad or the printer had a cold and he sneezed on every sheet or whatever, we don't know. But the Matsukaze print, the one with the woman in the red clothing lying on the ground, frequently gets foxed, and I have now 3 copies of that, 2 of which are heavily foxed and unsaleable. So whenever we see this set come up in the auctions, the first thing we do is crack it open. Is it foxed or is it not? The 1960s and 70s were a bad time for Japanese reproduction, print reproduction, because some of the paper was really poor in that sense. Anyway, here we go. Let's get going on this. Grok. I thought it was a normal word, you know. People have been referring to it in the YouTube comments and here, this strange word that David used. And to me now, this is just a normal English word. My parents probably wouldn't understand it, and maybe my kids wouldn't understand it. But to me, grok, it's a normal word that means you've really, what's the word? You've really learned something well, and you've internalized the knowledge. Instead of using the long word, I've internalized how to do this. I know it well enough that I can explain it easily. And to me, the word grok, that's just what that means. So I didn't really think of that as being any special kind of jargon or anything. So. Nor did I know where it came from. No idea. I read Heinlein lots. I had all of his stuff. I grew up with Golden Age science fiction, and I had a bookshelf with Asimov and Heinlein and all those guys. Actually, they're probably still in the basement in Omaha. I don't even know. Arthur Clarke, Heinlein, Asimov. Some of those guys actually, in retrospect, sound like they were not such nice people. I don't know, but whatever. At the time, it wasn't relevant. The stuff for us was interesting. Escapism. We're going to go to the moon. I tried writing some, you know. I remember some writing assignment. I'd be in high school or middle school or something. And it's the creative writing class. So of course you try and imitate what you're looking at and reading. So I tried to write a science fiction story. Thankfully, it is no longer with us. Actually, I remember what it was about too. Are we on stream here? I guess so. Looks to be totally out of focus, is it? Just my glasses, it's me. Excuse me. It's a bit of a windy day out there, and I think perhaps one of our flags just fell over. Hang on a second, excuse me. Yes. Yeah, all on the plants. It's a nice day out there. It's a warm summer's day, but not super hot and a bit breezy. There's a little bit of a taste of autumn coming. It's not cool enough to be an autumn feel, but it's a bit breezy. You can feel the seasons starting to shift around a little bit. It was one of the flags, we have a flag outside, what we call a nobody had to flag. It sits in a post, and in the evenings we bring it in and put it in the alcove behind the shutter. The shutter is half open, we're not open, the flag isn't outside, but there's enough wind today breezing around that the flag just fell over and banged the window. Whatever, sorry about your ASMR, I can't help it. Life happens. Something happens. I think I said that in last night's video. I'm already in trouble for it. Dave swore on his last YouTube video. And you laugh about this, but I think it could possibly result in a penalty. YouTube, because mark these things adult content or something. Because slipped out, one little tiny S word slipped out last night during the video. And I'm hoping it doesn't get flagged, because it could. That's all I need now. Flagged for obscene content, just because a little tiny S word slipped out. I'm sure I'm glad to get that video done with. My God, that's been hanging over my head now for months. It's nowhere near as good as it should have been, but whatever. At the moment, under these circumstances, I can't really do any better than that. Where should we work next? Actually, there's a part that I didn't finish yesterday, you know. This corner over here. That's right, I didn't finish this. Clearing out among the dots. I forgot about that. That's the part I didn't get to Monday stream. We're over here. Yeah, look at this corner here. Not cleaned off. Here we go. Too bright, isn't it? If I turn that light off, is that a bit better? I can still see, I think. Is that a bit better? I'm not sure. No, I can't see. It's alright, it's gotta come on. Grain here is difficult to find which way to chip this out. Very difficult grain on some of this block. No matter which way you go, it's against the grain it wants to chip. When you're dealing with these last little dots, they're so easy to pop off. I think that group's done. What are you guys talking about? I don't get this. I'm sorry. Women abuse. You talking about the Octopus Print? Look at all his comments. I'm sorry. I'm not following here. Excuse me. Now it's owls. Okay. Jacques is here. Good evening, sir. For those of you who don't know who this is, the gentleman who's just come into the chat here, Jacques Commandeur, he knows all about that stuff I told you about last night because he visited me. Was it a year ago, Jacques, or 2 years ago when you were here? We went out to Ome to look at the blocks. Jacques is a long-time collector of my work. He's posted with his own name here, so it's okay to talk about this, I think. He has a website talking about his work. I'm going to post 2 links here. One is the front page to his website, which I encourage you to go and have a look at. Oh, somebody's already done it. He, 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 he. But then he also posted about the blocks that I put in the video last night. And he's got photographs. Has somebody got that link? Just a minute. I'm going to find it before I find it. Hey there. I'm first. There's the website with photographs of the very block set that is sitting beside me right here, right now. I just showed one of the blocks on last night's video. You know, this is the problem with these videos. And I got, again, there was a comment last night, Dave, please work out a better proportion. A 40-minute freaking video talking about your first woodbuck prints. And the woodbuck prints themselves take up about 30 seconds and we don't get a close-up view. This is not a good proportion, and I get it. I've tried to figure out how to do this. In fact, this time I thought I showed more images of the prints, the Okada-san prints. It turns out what people want to see are images of those dumb little prints that I made. Whatever, I don't know how to do the balance. You know, if I show the print there, then I can't talk at you. I don't know. Maybe it needs a supplementary page with images of the prints on or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I get the comment. Thank you very much, and whatever. Yeah, go and check out Jacques' website here. He was here just a couple of months ago. I tell you, this video, the one you just saw, I did it twice. 1 week ago, I made the whole thing, start to finish, B-roll, everything. And then again, yesterday, I made the whole thing. And I'm not happy with either of them, but it's whatever. Just we do what we can do at this point. And hopefully in this new environment, we'll get this rolling and I'll learn how to relax more and try not to babble so much and try and get... Yeah, Jacques, you need a website. You need a domain name. Absolutely, I think. These days, maybe that's not quite so important because we don't actually end up really typing URLs anymore. But I think Google would treat it much better if you had your own domain name. Google would rank this much higher as being a generic, a generic page. Anyway, I got to do a bit more carving here. Excuse me. Jock has been a long time supporter of my work. My God, he's got so many of our prints over there. What's also, pleasing for me, a nice feeling for me is that a person like that who knows what the most beautiful prints of the 20th century look like also chooses to collect some of mine. So it's selling prints here in the shop to tourists is okay, whatever. These people like to have a decoration for their wall. But someone like Jacques, who is a very knowledgeable collector, when he picks up my work also, that's a nice, a nice thing to happen for us. Okay, I think that might be roughly cleaned out. Okay, let's go. Next area here. To recap what's happening here, now these dots. Finally, when this block is finished, what we will have a block full of circular or roughly shaped irregular black dots. But we're not going to carve those just yet. I first roughed out around each group of dots down here and then over on this other side of the block. I roughed them out. Then I did the big rough work with what we call a persuader, the big chisel to channel out all the big stuff. And now I've cleaned in between. Now when I finish doing that all over the block, and there's still more major clearing to come, this stuff has to come out, for example, this part here. The very end of this block, what we'll do is I'll come back here and I will trim around each little black dot to leave them in their final shape. If you trim around them too soon in the process, they tend to get banged or knocked or scratched by the other parts of the work. So we'll save that for the end. So what's happening next? Let's clear up this eye. We've got the two octopus eyes. And again, you can see I cut them already. The chisel lines are here. This has already been cut with my chisel. That was the first step. Then second step was clearing out. And now the third step in all this traditional carving, third step is to clear up to the carved line to give you your islands and oceans. Again, we've talked about this many times. I don't know how much to repeat myself, Even though the pigment is going to be printed only from the islands, and the oceans will never touch the paper, we have to clean the oceans. We can't leave them full of dirty and all here like this, bumps like that, because those bumps pick up pigment and they start to get elevated and they can bang against the paper. So as much as possible, these oceans between the islands have to be generally smooth. And there is a question in the box. I better get it before I forget. Question box, Twitch chats, Twitch questions. Here we are. There is indeed a question. Oh, it's a long one with photographs. Cameron suggested I ask this on stream. It's a long question. I'm sorry again. I'm not even sure actually what the question is here. This gentleman is making a picture of the young girl sitting in the water. Had a split at the top of the arm line, so I had to adjust the cut to take it out. I'm not quite sure what you're asking, but I mean, you're making a reproduction of a print like this. It's up to you. If you want to make it perfectly exactly, that's the standard you set. If you've made a split part way along and you want to adjust the image so that you don't have to repair the block, it's your call. This image is public domain. It's free for anybody to use. You can adapt it as you wish. If I were trying to make a perfect reproduction and I made a pop and a split, then yeah, I would fix the block. It's your call. What woods have you used that may be more available to paper other than mountain cherry? We talked about this the other day. I don't have any experience in my adult life with any other woods than cherry. We use Japanese cherry for our work because it gives the results we want. If this is your first or second print, don't even bother asking the question. Just grab a piece of wood, any piece of wood, please, and just try it, as you're doing right now. It looks like a piece of plywood or something you've got there. And then, here's Cameron there. And then based on the experience you have doing that, then try another piece of wood. Please don't wait for my golden reply here that I can solve all your problems about wood. I can't do that. Just get your own experience. We're having real trouble with the light here. This camera just is the light. Look at it. It's
all washed out.
It's all washed out, or if I turn the light off. It wasn't like this yesterday, but I don't know what's going on. What I'll try doing, I think, is whatever. I'll just try doing it like this. Maybe I'll put that aside and just use the lens here. Always something wrong. There's a God watching us who, whenever I get it right, just kicks up something else, and changes some setting.
He thought it could be easy. Take that.
Hey, what do you think of the video last night? Wait.
Up. I was asleep.
You went to sleep. You didn't stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning to see my latest video?
No, sir.
Cameron, look, Japanese companies and American companies are different.
Yeah. What about Canadian companies?
We don't talk about that.
When did you get it up?
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't so late. Actually, it was up before I went to bed. I know. I just,
Well, you go to bed different hours.
No. I forget. It was about 9 o'clock. What I was going to do was the same as last week. Go to bed and then sleep on it before putting it up. I thought, if I do that, then I will never put it up in the morning. So I just thought, screw it, up it, go for it. So I put it up.
All right.
This morning I checked it, and it's no better than the one last week.
Oh, no.
It's really no better. The B-roll especially.
Oh, I knew it.
Private joke. Excuse me, just a minute. Whatever. And I think we talked about, I would love to be in a position where I've prepared my ideas, what to say. I've prepared my script, and the staff gets everything ready for me. Hey, okay, guys, get ready for me. We'll have a videotaping tomorrow.
Touch up your makeup.
I don't care about that, but whatever, get everything ready. And then I come in and sit down, and my mind is clear. Yesterday I spent hours getting this set up, the microphone set up, getting this, my phone at the bottom here, all this stuff, all these connections. By the time I get ready to start, good morning, it's Woodblock Premier Table. My head is just full of all the cables and comments and starting this and synchronization and it takes about the first 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes of the video before I can forget that.
Yeah.
So then I get too enthusiastic and start talking too fast. So it's, I think now it's chaos. Whatever, the YouTube comments this morning are good, but that's only the people who, they're doing what their mother told them. If you have something nice to say, say it. If you don't have something nice to say, keep quiet. Yeah. So the 10,000 people who aren't commenting are thinking, oh my God, here's another one, whatever. Dave's being too hard on himself. We talked about that in the video last night. Those guys, remember the last scene in the video, that wood block? Are you going to say to those guys, no, you guys, you're being too hard on yourself. It's okay. You get the point, right? I don't. You know that last scene that the face was carved like 6 times. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. Yeah, they're enjoying the video. I did too. Whatever.
No tape today. Heat for
no, I actually think it seems okay these days. Yeah. Once we're out of that super hot, the problem is up on the 3rd floor where there's no air conditioning. That thing really starts to get steaming. Here, I think it's perhaps okay. I don't know.
Seems to be alright.
There was also in yesterday's stream. I looked at when I was pasting up. I forgot to be pasting a copy. We get a copy. There was a couple. Maybe they were new people, and they were really confused. Like, who's this dude looking at the camera? And why doesn't his mouth match what he's saying? Confusing and stuff.
Got it. There are 2 people here. One doing the carving and all the hard work, and one just chilling. They had
come along after, we just made this switcheroo so that the people watching at the moment understand what's happening, but you're here.
I'm a ventriloquist.
So it means that I can now get back to my carving a little better, and you can throw questions at me instead. Okay. There was a long question just now in the question box. It came with a picture, and I tried to answer part of it, but it was just too long. It was a discussion rather than a question.
Do you need some more light?
No, it's stretched. The flask has stretched, and the block doesn't go under it. I've got to take some time and organize everything.
Dead Steve says, I got off my butt and went for a run after your little motivational bit in the video. So, did you convince people to go running?
Motivational? Well, I mean, at the very end, where I said, whatever, grab something and don't give up till it's done properly or something. I don't remember. I had mixed feelings about it. I'm not trying to sort of be motivational in the sense that, here, let me tell you how to run your life. I really, really, really don't want to do that. If someone tries to do that with me, I just reject it. It's like your mother. Do your homework or do this, blah, blah, blah. You just automatically reject it. It's part of human nature. So I'm not specifically trying to... No, really, really, honestly, I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm telling what happened to me. I don't know. I don't want to lie down on the couch here to get really too analyzed, But yeah, I did do that, didn't I? I turned it into a life lesson or something.
Motivational speaker. Start
Oh,
the Zing middle schools.
No. My God, charging for the seminars and write a book and $25,000 for the speech and stuff.
Now we're talking.
I can't stomach that stuff. No, thank you. I know how to run my life. You don't. Let me tell you how to run your life. Pay me to do so. I mean, give me a break.
Mourinho and others are talking about the way you cut the wood. I think you've drawn a picture before. If you still have that old video somewhere, or someone knows the link to it, where you drew a quick example of what the rings on the tree might look like, and how you don't get it flaps on or a normal cut, but you cut at different angles. So
you mean preparing the wood blocks?
Preparing
to
prepare right. Not this kind of cutting and carving, but to prepare the wood blocks.
I don't know the name for it, the word for it, because there doesn't seem to be
it's not a common way to do it.
There's different terminology for the same thing, and it doesn't fit. There's quarter sawn, I don't know the terminology for it. The point being, you want a piece of wood that when you look at the end of the wood, like this, you don't want to see grain lines that are straight. You don't want grain lines running like this.
Right.
You want grain lines at the end of your wood that look like smiles. Curves, 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 curves. So you've got to arrange your block. You're cutting from the tree so as to give you that. And it's a plus minus, because those blocks, once they are released from the tree, they warp like crazy. That's part of our block preparation. Let them warp, let them dance, let them sing, let them dry out in an oversized form. And then once they've basically finished their warping and doing what they're going to do as they dry out, then you slice your flat piece of wood from that larger piece. But again, if this is a relatively inexperienced person talking about this, don't worry about those things. Because really, they're critical to me with decades of experience, but for somebody just starting, they're almost irrelevant. I'm not trying to be patronizing about this, but it becomes a barrier. If you worry too much about what kind of wood should I use or how should it be cut, you will really never get started. And honestly speaking, it doesn't matter much to people who don't have so much experience. So please, I've said this a million times, please don't let those details about how the perfect block, or because you using a perfect block is for your first printmaking experiments. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of resources all around.
Waste of a perfect block.
Now, I get this, because I want to do this. Even back at the beginning, I'm doing the same thing. What kind of wood should I use? How should I cut it? I get it. But please don't sweat it. It's your own experience that will guide you as you go through this. So I'm really sorry to keep saying the same thing again and again, but don't let the lack of...
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Suga-san, just come in, please. Say hello, say hello. So, those of you who know, this is Suga-san. She's working on what we call TBB upstairs, Times Burned Bright. So, you had a good vacation, でしょ?
バケーション行ってきました。
どこ行っちゃった？
名古屋。浜松？名古屋、浜松行ってきたよ。
Wait, 浜松 is not in 名古屋。
浜松って浜名湖？名古屋から一個ちょっと静岡県とかあっちの方で浜名湖。富士山よりももうちょっと名古屋寄りの方で、
じゃあ愛知県じゃない。
愛知県のちょっと手前。そうです。さすが静岡。さすが。
自分の田舎ですか？違う。
自分の田舎じゃなくて、琵琶湖じゃなくて、釣りみたいなの。フィッシング。二人で
いいですね。
釣れない。
一匹も。
釣れない。
ね、結構暑かったんでしょ？
暑い。だからもう外出てられなかった、全然。なんかもうね、暑くて、なんか人がいっぱい回ってるんだけど、全然なんかね、なんかもうその人たちも熱中症な、東京より多分すごい暑くて、
でしょ？風もなかったから。
風もなくて、湖だからすごいもうね、隠れるところがなくて。
泳ぐことは無理でしょ？その中。
もう泳いでる人もいたけど、でも、とてもじゃないけど暑くて、もうだらだら汗かいた。
日焼けないですか？
そう、日焼け止めいっぱい塗ってきた。
外に行ってない。
そう、日焼け止め塗って傘こうやってやって。
2日、3日
2日ぐらい行ってきたかな。
車で
行ってきました。
よかったね。じゃあ、これ
お
から。
土産あるから。
Yeah, that's the only reason we have
そう、お土産に対してはうなぎパイだよ。
じゃあ、wait it. Alright, back to work. Thank you.
はい、後で撮ります。
後で、はい、了解です。
How much of that do you want to translate or explain?
You guys caught all that? She went to Nagoya and Hamamatsu in Shizuoka. Well, Nagoya is not in Shizuoka, but it's in Aichi. Is that correct?
She went down the Tokaido and in the direction of Nagoya.
Yeah. Oh, do we have any pictures of the places she went to in our inventory?
No, I don't think so.
Too bad. But she said she was going to do fishing, but then didn't catch anything, hardly went outside because it was too hot, too hot, no wind. Put on tons of sunscreen for the brief moments she was outside.
It's only a good break.
Sounded like a nice
quite peaceful
time.
break.
Yeah.
So.
Nice time with her husband. Saying, oh, her smile is contagious. So wear a mask.
She's a happy kid. Yeah? Seems to be a happy kid. You know?
Yeah.
She's really enjoying the work here. We treat her well with respect. We've given her lots of chance to grow. Yeah. We're critical in the sense that, trying to keep the work as high quality as possible, but she's on board with that.
Yeah.
She's just so far so good. Everything's perfect. She is really developing well. Every one of her prints now at that point seems to be better than the one before. Yeah. And she feels a real sense of accomplishment and achievement, and it just doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Cameron and Suga-san are working together on the next video. I mentioned this in last night's video, that Cameron is shooting.
Now I have to do it.
I know you got it. What do you mean you have to do it? Cameron is shooting step by step the print that she's making right now. They are scanning every step, I believe, also. So there should be a really nice video presentation at the end of this one, showing the colors building up and the finished print and her working situation. Have you done the little interview with her yet?
No, she keeps
delaying.
No, we're going to get it, but she looks all nice and got her hair done today. I think maybe today. I think that's been her main concern is I'm not prettied up for it. So
go with that. Yeah. What I was thinking was maybe when the print is done and it's on the table between the two of you, is one approach, or just like now, when it's halfway done, what are the challenges, what have you got going, and what are the challenges still in front of you? There's lots of options. Don't make it too deep, because she tries. If you make it too deep, they try to explain too much and ramble on for too long. Can't allow that.
Can't allow that. How long was last night's video?
Be quiet.
I'm in trouble.
Well, the point being, remember, at the end of when you're making this video, you have to translate it.
Yeah.
Into the subtitles. So
I think I'll just skip the interview then. No, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, she's nice.
Kobida, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Kobyda. So it's 40 minutes was perfect with the smiley face. So.
I mean, last night's video.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know. At some point, Dave just has to try and let go and say that's all I can do at the moment, or whatever. And if I talk about it too much, it just gets pretentious. Whatever. Next one, part 2 coming soon. I've got to go back to Ome to get more stuff. The stuff I brought from Ome to illustrate this video has to go back now. I've got to find. What I've done with this video, it's really, it might not be such a great idea. Rather than doing the story, part 1 followed by part 2 chronological. I've part 1 from 0 to the Narita airport coming to Japan. Right. I'm going to go back to 0 and up to Narita airport again, but showing different prints and showing a different influence. And it might be a totally confusing way to do it, but there was just too many things to talk about that would have heaped up on each other.
Yeah.
Saiki-san and Yu Yudo and buying those Okada prints had a huge impact on me. But also, I bought some prints from the Adachi workshop on my next visit. I made 2 visits to Japan before we moved here. I made a 3-month visit and another 3-month visit.
Yeah.
Doing different things on each of those visits, getting different prints, meeting different people, getting different tools. So the next video will cover that second visit, where I actually got some real tools, met some real craftsmen, got thrown out of the Adachi workshop, physically thrown out of the Adachi workshop. And it was just too much to try and put into one video. That would have just become a 2-hour-long mumbled, grotesque meeting. So.
Thing. Oh, we're getting a prequel. Not quite. I think it's more like a sister story.
I guess, yeah, maybe some twin, I don't know.
Yeah. Covering the same time period, but telling different aspects of what was going on.
So it might be totally confusing. You know, a person that sees one of these videos, okay, and some years later he sees a second video. Wait, David told a wholly different story about this. Which one is the truth? Which one is a lie? I don't know what it. They're both. Yeah. There was so much stuff. Like I prepared for last night's video. I prepared more stuff and I didn't show it. I brought the first trip I've made around Japan with me and her. We were young. We were members of the Youth Hostel Association. I don't know if they still exist in Japan or not. You know, whatever. And we were traveling in November, December, January, when basically there was no travelers doing, backpacking around Tohoku. Right. So all the youth hostels were still open, but nobody was inside them. Mm-hmm. So we had the run of the whole country to ourselves. We had these cheap train passes. The hostels were all empty. The people, oh my God, someone to cook for. Let's go, sit down. You know, oh, it's your first time in Japan. Blah 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 blah. So we were treated like just such kings. You know, I had such a great time. And the youth, I've got the what do you call it? It's a book with stamps.
Yeah.
They give you a little sticker and a stamp to show where you've been. And they prepared the little book. It's got like 12 spaces.
Yep.
Typical person come in Japan. They do a week's tour, whatever, 10 days. They go home. We got a page taped on, another page taped on, another page taped on. 3 months of staying in youth hostels. You know, so.
Yeah.
I've still got it. I brought it. I brought it to show in the video last night, but it just
didn't fit in.
It didn't fit in. Whatever.
Yeah. I remember looking through it with you one of the times.
And then the picture, this guy's picture on the front of this thing, that's me. I should have shown that in the video because that's the David who saw those Okada Yoshio prints for the first time. No, that's the me at that time. My mother showed the baby. Well, whatever. I don't care. It's okay. My mother showed the baby picture. It means nothing. But this one, this is the man you're looking at who saw those prints. You know, it's not the current David who saw them. Perhaps I should have put that into the video somewhere. I don't know.
All these pages taped in for
they're falling apart and taped
stamps
in.
And stamps from hostels.
We had a great time. Anthony was a great time.
This goes on.
There's also something else. I got a comment in the mail, and somebody said, "Dave, you're misremembering something." And I said, "What?" You know, I went back to look it up. What he said, and I'm totally misremembering. It was the exchange rate. In the video last night, I mentioned a couple of times I used an exchange rate from my head. You know, the prints were 82,000 yen, which in Canadian dollars at that time was 1,500. Yeah. It was backwards. It was like 280 yen to the dollar.
Oh,
so it's backwards. So I totally gave the wrong figure in the middle of that video. And now it's up on YouTube and you can't edit videos. And there I am looking like an idiot giving the totally wrong information. So it's interesting.
So it wasn't 15, so it was more like $400.
Yeah,
going the other way around.
the other way around. It was the other way around. You know, they were dirt cheap by foreign standards. And very, very expensive by Japanese standards. In one place I gave the wrong date. I said it's 1991, and I did it twice. I made the same mistake twice in the video. Caught the first one in the editing, put a little tag in 1981, you idiot.
Is it Brad Pitt? You're so handsome. That picture from before. That's what they're saying. Nice picture. The stamps look so fun. Yeah. Oh, maybe that booklet will make it into the director's cut. The extended edition. HB thing says on YouTube you can add annotations, so there may be some way to put
in yes, there
notes
is. So you can put the annotation. Yes, that's right. I forgot that because people can add subtitles in a different language and stuff like that. So yes.
Then Dead Steve says, yes, but YouTube annotations are so ugly. So, but I don't know. We can look at options, see what they have available. Did I tell you yet? We got an email from some guy starting a company saying, how do you edit your videos? We want to offer you an editing service for a flat monthly rate of $500 a month.
I get those all the time.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I just got one to me.
There's channel, I forget what they're called. People that do group channels together. And it's half of them are robots to start with. Half of them are people who they see something coming up that's got a bunch of accounts.
Yeah.
And they want to get involved with it. No.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be relevant. But a flat monthly rate of just $500, or starting at just $500. I think
I didn't see that. But most of the other ones, they want me to become a member of their channel network or something like this. Just no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And then the monetization stuff. I still get them from Google itself.
Yeah.
I guess they see the
Why
numbers
haven't you
and
started
why haven't you
advertising?
monetized? So
Because that's not how you want to run things.
I make my $15 or whatever it is. Am I on screen? I can't tell.
Yeah, you're right on. Taylor Bryan asks, is there a limit to how thin the lines can be on a wood block, and how does the swelling of the wood from the ink limit the thickness you carve?
Good question.
Looking at these hairs.
So the limiting factor really is the structure of the wood, the cell structure of the wood, I mean, if we prepared some kind of microscope and laser set up, you start paring away molecules of wood until you've got one molecule left standing or something. I don't know. In my own work, and we've counted this, I don't have it handy with me right now, but the next print in the Mystique series, the one that Sugi-san is going to be printing, that one of the beauty.
Yeah.
When you take my carved block and you put a measure scale around it, at one point there's 7 hairs carved inside 1 millimeter. At one point, it's not consistent all the way down.
Right.
But there's one place where there are. I've carved actually 7 individual lines with the 6 spaces between them, and they fit in the span of 1 millimeter.
Wow.
So that's possible. And that's not cherry wood, that's boxwood.
Right.
And the question about do the lines expand, is a huge, deep question there, and I can sort of maybe try and answer it here. If you've got your lines to carve, whatever, and without wanting to get into a whole huge technological explanation, a normal Japanese cutting knife has a flat side and a bevel side. Now it goes into the wood. A piece of steel has just gone into the wood. It hasn't taken wood away, it's just gone into the wood. So somehow the wood has become compressed. Obviously, steel went in what used to be a solid wood surface. Right. So as the steel is passing through the wood, somehow, somewhere, the wood has to get compressed. Yeah. When it's an ocean and the boat goes through, the water moves out of the way and the sea level rises somewhere else. So whatever, where the way it goes. But this one, there's no doubt about it, the wood gets compressed. Yeah. And what happens is, with a normal way of holding a normal Japanese knife, which is flat on the back and beveled on one side, the compression happens on the beveled side. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to dig this in, and I can see it now. This side, where the flat side was, is still flat, and this side is now curled up a bit. The wood has been compressed and pushed up a little bit.
Can we zoom in closer on that camera? Let's see. Not sure if it'll show up. A little bit over here, yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, so as I said, whatever, I did that. The flat side is at my left, where my finger is. Right? And the knife went through. So the wood that's left at the moment, the wood in this area has not been compressed much. The wood in this area has been compressed much. Now, if I now went ahead and cleared this out, we're going to get rid of this wood. This is compressed wood. We're going to throw it away. It's coming out of here. If we do this again the other way around, then the line that's left behind is made up of wood that didn't get compressed while you were cutting it. And those lines, which didn't get compressed when you put water on the block to print, do not expand. if you compress your wood, if I had done it with the bevel, I'm going to try and show it sort of a wrong way around what it would to hit the line. If I cut this line this way, with the bevel on the line, take away that wood and then cut it this way with the bevel on the line, then that line that's left is made of wood that's been compressed from both sides.
Right.
And it may look real thin. Wow, this is cool. He can carve so thin.
Right.
But you put water on that block and it goes woof,
Yeah.
right back up. So this is a critical factor in traditional Japanese printmaking.
Yeah.
If you're going to leave lines and you want them to stay as stable as they can after you've cut them, you need perfectly dried wood, which is stable.
Yeah.
And you've got to cut in a way that doesn't stress or compress any of the wood fibers.
Cool.
It took me years and years to learn this. I got really sent down the wrong pathway when I got Toshi Yoshida's book, which shows and says all wood must be cut with the bevel of the knife on the line, which is wrong.
The opposite.
It's the opposite. Now, he didn't know because he wasn't a craftsman, and in his world, cutting flat pieces of plywood for color blocks, it didn't make a difference because the edge of this color area compressed a tiny bit at the edge. You can't even see it in the finished print.
Right.
He wasn't a craftsman cutting lines. But he made the flat statement in his book, the bevel stays on the line.
Yeah.
And that has spread around the world. I followed it for 10 years, all during my Poets series. I followed it, not being smart enough to jump ahead of it. I just took what teacher said without thinking about it. And he didn't know what he was talking about. He made beautiful prints in his own world, but he didn't know what he was talking about. And finally I learned and realized and pushed through this through my own experience. And years later, when I was talking to Asuka-san about this, to confirm, he's a totally trained traditional Japanese carver. Flat sides on the line, right? He says, well, of course. What do you mean you can't do any other way than that?
Like, obviously. Interesting.
So whatever, if that's actually the question that was asked, I think it might have been a question that was asked, I'm not quite sure.
Yes, it says fascinating. Thank you.
So as to actually what level of microscopic, whatever, it's up to your wood, I'm not sure what to say. It gets to a point at which it doesn't make sense anymore because you can't see it, You might see the flags out there this morning. What happened was, I opened the shutter partway through this morning. The flag was tucked away where it normally is against the window.
Right.
It was a bit breezy today. And I'm carving this morning just after we started the stream, about 15, 20 minutes after. And the wind blew the flag over, crashed against the window.
Oh, no.
And we got like the streams full of, oh my God, I was in the middle of an ASMR orgasm and this blah, 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 blah. So,
Disturbed it.
and it was where the crows are attacking and they fend them off or whatever. So,
That's funny.
there was also an interesting comment on the YouTube video during the night. Somebody, he's perhaps a video maker, looking at it from a professional point of view. And his criticism, gentle, polite criticism, was that I have the composition of the video all wrong. I'm sitting sort of at the left side of the screen, and I'm looking out. I should be looking in. When I sit here at my table, my arms are to the right. And when you look at the video, my arms are pointing out
of the frame.
Out of the frame. And he said this takes people's viewpoints away, and et cetera, et cetera. I guess there's lots of things that if you go to film school, you sort of learn these things, and I didn't and don't. I'm a bit constrained here because of the physical structure of the room.
Yeah.
I have that teleprompter. If it's too close, we can't use it because my eyes go like this running across the screen. So it's got a teleprompter has to be as far away as possible.
Right.
But this is a narrow building, and there's a post right in the wrong place for where I would want to put this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to really follow that advice, without rebuilding our whole corner here. So, the video is something that's tacked on to our normal work. This isn't a video studio. It's a woodblock printmaking workshop, a shop. So, but yeah, it's very interesting to see that, and I'm going to try and think.
See what we can learn from it.
Yeah. Although I have to mention, if there's a sort of I'm not sure if it's a trap, that's the wrong word to use. If I try and make them too professional by thinking about it in the way the professional does, I'm just going to fall on my ass, because I'm not. And they will then start to look overproduced, or there's a balance between hopeless use, terrible production and total professionalism. And somewhere in the middle, there's a sort of an honest attempt to do a nice job without being over. What's
an
what I'm
earnest
looking for?
amateur. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, that sounds fine. So an earnest amateur, exactly. So enough of it that the result does actually look acceptable and okay, and there's some rough edges, but we accept that because the guy's trying to do something, So that's not the goal, but I mean that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And if I try and think too much about these things, so-called composition, that line should lead here. I'm a little worried that I'd get in over my head.
Got it.
But anyway, the point was taken. I'm happy that he made the comment and felt comfortable enough to make this comment without sounding like a jerk.
Yeah.
Are you okay with Susan? Do you need to get up there to shoot her first color, or what's happening?
No, usually takes her a little while to get everything all set up, and then...
It's going to take a little while this morning because I haven't even been to the third floor today. I just realized.
Oh no, so the paper's out, or not out.
No, I didn't even go up there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. I slept in this morning. I haven't had a shower.
See if I get any messages.
So I have to go upstairs. No, it's her character. She won't complain.
No, yeah, she's... Yeah, agree. Oh, was that a question?
That was a question.
Yeah.
Question about
Okay.
yes. Crap! I didn't even think about it. I didn't go up to the third floor. That's what I get. I skipped my shower. I'm sorry. I was running late. I was up quite a bit late last night because of that. My excuse.
Video.
Oh well, so I've let her down. God, she came after a 3-day holiday, ready to get back to work, and I've forgotten about her. How soon they forget.
Yeah.
So I better go. Super finished. I'll go upstairs and apologize. But also the other one, and Daychan's coming, or who else is coming? Is his cousin coming?
Oh,
No.
No. I don't think so. Lately she's just been coming Saturdays and Sundays.
But even though no, she's off. She's in Kansai, Kobe.
Oh, okay.
She's really happy with the idea of the new girl. And I sent her an email because the new girl, I put her in
Oh,
the
yeah,
calendar and put her in the staff.
Yeah.
I mentioned that the new girl's coming. And I happened to mention her university.
Yeah.
And Ishika-san just wrote back, oh my God, another one, because it's from her school. That's where she
Oh,
went
it's
to.
her school.
So-
Fun.
so-
Okay.
So
That's
she is
great.
now happy. Oh my God.
Great.
So, Japanese, you're so
Yeah.
If I met someone who went to my university, I'm like, okay. But
Okay.
with Japanese, that's it. We're bosom buddies for life,
Yeah.
and here, take my firstborn son and my daughter, and I'll countersign your mortgage and whatever it is.
That is funny. Graceful Butt asks, is it possible in any way to change the source on Twitch to lower the resolution? Because 720p takes forever to load. That's funny you should ask, because in the past we've had people ask to move up the resolution. So did you find a way to lower the resolution? It looks like someone was...
Well, don't worry, I'm streaming at 720
Yeah.
right now because
Okay.
we dropped it from 1080 because it was causing
so
problems
hot.
at this end.
Yeah.
So we're at 720.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I lower that, everybody else is going to start complaining.
Yeah.
Please up the resolution. So
Right.
is there any way?
So for them to change it on their end.
Yes. Can you not? Does Twitch stream lower resolutions at the same time? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Or do we have to be an associate?
I have no idea.
do that?
Maybe-
Okay.
Maybe other people on the channel here can answer that question. I don't know. But I think the general consensus is people want me to stream at as high a resolution as I possibly can.
Let's go to 4K. No. I don't think we have the equipment for that. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Is it a certain place, the part of the world they're doing, or they're in rural Indiana or something, where there's no cable or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Let us know if you're having issues or if you found a solution on your side.
Anybody else in the chat can.
Okay.
But I think from our point of view, quote, higher is better. I think. I'm not quite sure what to say there.
So someone asking, it's a totally different topic. Carving a used piece of leather with polishing compound to strop the knife, which I feel helps, but I notice you don't do this. What?
No,
I don't even know what stropping
I
is. But
have to be careful because I don't know much about Western ways of sharpening. I know when Western carpenters or whatever, or people using sharp-edged tools in a Western tradition, the general oil stones and sharpening a blade on a stone with oil seems to be the very common way to do things.
Right.
The steel is quite different than a Japanese steel. And I haven't ever tried using one of my Japanese tools on a Western oil stone. But what I understand of the concept is there's a stone which is a very hard, I think Arkansas stone or something is the name of a common one, and they're really, really, really hard. You put oil on it, you do your rubbing to take metal off and make a shape, and then rather than use what we call a shiagito, a delicate stone, they will use a strop, a piece of leather, and like a barber does, the old style barber, where he's got his, he takes the edge, he sharpens his blade on the stone, and takes the edge off by rubbing it backwards against a piece of a certain type of leather. It's a strop, it's called. And I've never tried, so I know nothing about that whatsoever. It's not part of the tradition here with the way we sharpen our tools. We use stone, stone, and stone, rough stone, medium stone, very fine stone. And there's no stropping in the Japanese sharpening tradition. We use the stone on both sides of the blade. When you're using a stone on one side, it does curl up a little edge, and we then flip the knife over, the blade over, and we sharpen that off. We don't strop it off. So what can I say? I have no experience. This works for us. It's not something that, oh my God, if I suddenly tried the American way, would it transform my life? I kind of doubt it, because I think that over all the centuries, the Japanese craftsmen have probably worked out kind of the best way
for
these specific tools. So I'm not really experimental in that sense. But if somebody has a Western blade, a blade made in Western methods and Western steel and Western technology, it could quite be possible that Western sharpening stones are the best things to use. I imagine there's lots of information on the net about this, I'm sure, but I know nothing about that. Point taken, we don't strop, we don't need to strop, we just use the stone itself on both sides of our blades. Who's in today? It's a Wednesday. Oh, it's Girls' Day.
Yep.
Ladies' Day. Okay. Yeah, good.
Did that family traveling on Air France decide they are going to come today too? I think they came in yesterday. I don't know. Because I remember you saying Wednesday's French Day, so if you're coming, they flew in on Air France. So I thought they might
sure.
want to be with someone who speaks
There were a couple who came in Monday afternoon.
Maybe it's
Oh, no, not Monday afternoon. Last night, actually. I was open after I came back from dinner with Sadako. I just left the door open. And a French couple did come in, and they had seen us on Air France.
Oh, wow.
And they chatted, and they booked for today. I booked them in at 4 o'clock today. But it wasn't a family of 5, I'm not sure.
No, that's okay.
I think we're not sold out today. There are 4 parties booked, I think, but they're not all
spread out,
sold out.
not full. Okay.
And the French people have been through here this week. My God, the French people. Sadako was here last night. She was sitting behind the counter. We were just chatting. And a French couple came in, a young man and his girlfriend, and they were from France. So in an attempt to just make conversation, I asked him, did you see the video on Air France? And he didn't know what I was talking about. He was actually a bit, not hostile, but like, why are you asking me these private questions? And okay, whatever, I just backed off. If you didn't know the story, you didn't know the story. And Sadako looks at me after they left. She, what are you doing? I said, I'm just trying to have conversation with people. Most of them actually who come here know about us, and I'm just trying to make it clear that I'm accessible and talkable and whatever. And that particular couple hadn't been interested in talking, so no problem, they left. Then not like 2, 3, 4 minutes later, another French couple comes in. And I'm like, I'm a little gun shy now. And Sadako's watching, and I thought, whatever, let's just try
What's
again.
he
So I
gonna
said,
do now?
no, I did, I tried again. Because actually I got a hint, because they had gone to see the heroes. They had looked at the heroes, so I'm thinking they know what's going on. So I struck up a conversation. And yes, they saw us, that morning on Air France when they were coming in, and their hotel is near here, so they stopped by to see us. So we chatted. I showed them the print party room. They signed up for a print party this afternoon. Had a good conversation. They didn't buy any prints, whatever. They come back, doesn't matter, out they go. And so, I told Sadako about this, that we'd see people all the time on the airplane. She hadn't really believed me. She thought I was just blowing smoke and making noise. And there we are. I was, she could see that it was actually the truth. I was saying, so.
That's funny.
But yeah, tons of French people this week, or people who are French-related countries. French Guiana, I think, was one or something. I don't know. So we're playing in the seatbacks now. We're playing on, what is it? There's a whole ton of them. We may still be on Delta. It might be finished. Yeah. We're on the whole KLM, Air France, Cathay Pacific, Vanilla Air, that whole group.
Alliance, whatever they call it.
And it's helping us tremendously.
Yeah.
My God, the guy himself is a jerk, but his work is helping us to no end. So I don't care how friendly or not he is or not. It's been a wonderful help for us.
Yeah.
All kinds of people who never would have found our work.
Okay. So the consensus is now Twitch has made it so everyone, even or all viewers, can change the resolution on their end. It's not only for people who are associates or otherwise
So
connected to
broadcasters
Twitch.
or viewers? What do you mean?
So it used to be that we had to be an associate for our viewers to change the resolution. Otherwise, they had to watch it
In whatever we
straight.
send.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now they've made it available for everyone.
So we're streaming at 720, but somebody can watch at
480 or
480.
360
Okay.
or whatever.
And do we know how to do that, or do they just?
I think, yeah, it sounds like they found there's a gear icon and they can just change it on their own end.
So we just stream at the maximum we possibly can, and people drink whatever they possibly can.
Yep.
Okay.
And so Dead Steve's saying, can you please push it back up?
It's a 1080.
Yep.
My little MacBook is saying, no, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. It's only Dead Steve. He's the pixel freak. Don't listen to him. If I did that for Dead Steve, he would notice more and more out of aligned pixels. It would be a never-ending problem here. The reason we keep it low is so that he doesn't notice these things.
Yeah, everything's just blurred this way.
You're just fun. Move one of those windows a little pixel off. Just in fact,
Can I rotate it at half a degree or something?
Just the next time he makes trouble for us.
Yeah.
So also that reminds me, the map. I know
Yes.
the map situation is right now. Somebody
Forward
signed up.
back to you.
Yes, it's too expensive. That's crazy. There's got to be better alternatives than that. I can write my own better than that. I know. I'd like to do this. I said, yeah, Moko Hong Kong will sponsor this, but my God, that's too expensive. There must be. Did you look for other alternatives?
I've
Because
seen people do things with Google Maps. You can create a custom map and then make it public so anyone can just add a point to it. But I don't know if that makes it super public so people will just mess around
Google,
on it. Or
Google is tracking to sell out or something. Okay.
Right. So
Whatever.
I
I
don't know.
know. Before I do shell out for that, can you just when
Look
you get a
around
minute,
for some more.
look around for
Because the
something
maps,
else.
it's a cool idea.
Yeah,
but
or I can
boy, was
own
that
one. It
pricey.
doesn't matter. Yeah, it was just. So I get why he didn't want to do that. I'm very, very happy he didn't go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I thought that was too much just for a little thing like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's got to be scripts out there, automatic scripts that So I'm sorry if I'm not to go back on my word. I would like to cooperate. I will help sponsor it, but I would like to look around for
A better deal.
before we jump in on that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I sound like a backtracker here.
People saying, was the YouTube video also in 720 or was it 1080 for the resolution?
I don't know. What do I do with those things? It's a setting that I set in iMovie ages ago. I think I'm exporting at 720 actually.
Oh, okay.
Good question. I don't know. It might be time to change that because it's just been a setting that I have ignored and haven't thought about for a long time.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody could look over
Yep,
YouTube
looks
channel.
like they said. I saw YouTube 720.
Really?
Right,
So
the next one, I'll push up to maybe.
Do I have enough memory in my machine to do that? I don't
well, I
know.
mean, I can for the next one, unless you beat me to the next, getting the next one up.
Or you mean the change to FCP? Yeah. I've got to bite the bullet on that, I guess. All the videos I've done so far, we're editing in iMovie on my little MacBook here. Yeah. We've bought Final Cut Pro. It's on the machine right over there. There's actually a bit of a long story there why we're not using that machine right now, but we don't need to go there. Yeah. So we've got Final Cut Pro. I haven't used it. There's obviously a learning curve, and I'm just postponing.
Yeah, it's also an inconvenient place, I think.
The physical machine. Yes, I know.
But your laptop, you can sit anywhere.
I know. But at the moment, I have no way to get around that. I mean, that machine is for that use. So.
Oh, we need it here. You can.
Yeah. Although that wouldn't be a bad place for me to sit in the evenings and do my editing right there. We're not doing it while the shop is open. I've just avoided it because it's a learning curve. It's funny, X years ago, chance to look at a new piece of software, new technology. I just grab it. Oh, let's go. Don't read the manual, click around, trying to figure out how to use this. I was that type of person. Get in there and do as much as you can without it. And now for me, taking on a new piece of software is now it's oh my God, I do not want to go there.
Daunting in a way.
It's daunting, not because I'm stupid, but I've learned now the softwares now they're so incomprehensible to beginners, and it's like Illustrator. If you don't use it regularly, you can't remember all the little commands and key commands on how to do this. Because other similar programs do things in a different way. And how does this one do it? How does this one do it? And unless you use it as part of your daily work, it just disappears.
It doesn't stick. Yeah.
So I'm just dreading this learning curve of learning it in the first place and then trying to remember how to do it.
Yeah.
So whatever, it's age, whatever, absolutely. I used to relish those challenges and that fun of doing it. Yeah. And now for me, it's no longer fun anymore. It's a new piece of software now for me. It's not fun. It's, oh crap, here we go again. Yeah. What have these little boys done to us this time? And the upgrades, just every time there's an upgrade, things change up. So my mother is having real trouble with Skype. Skype has automatically updated itself. The interface has totally changed. She's on a desktop, but they're feeding her the mobile version. I guess they've stopped making a desktop version. Yeah. We saw that yesterday with PayPal, right? Yeah. PayPal's done the new payouts, and there's no desktop version anymore. Yeah. It's all switched to a mobile version. Yeah. Which on the face of it is simple, but actually, I forget, what did I count? Well, 17. It used to take 4 clicks, now it takes 17 clicks to get through. You know. Did you try making a payout? Again, no, next screen, next screen, next screen, next screen, next screen. It used to be half Ajax. You would put in the number you want withdrawn, and if it wasn't enough to hit the fee, it would pop up automatically. Fee will be charged $200. Yeah. Now you don't find that information until the next 3 screens down, and you got to back up, change the number. So whatever. I don't want to get started. I'm just going to become this grumpy old man. So okay, I think I'm clear to that next section. What's next here? Where are we for time, sir? We got some time to go.
Oh, 15 minutes or 12 minutes.
Because what's next actually is Persuader. I've got to do some persuading. Should we finish off the stream with a noise? Or I could just get in here and start carving. We could do that. I don't want to do persuading. Yeah. Okay. Just. Oh, here's Audrey-san. Audrey-san, we have French customers again today for you. So the 4 o'clock party is French people. I think there's some more. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a bunch. It's the Air France. I know the video is playing, and every day we're getting French people here. Yeah.
So yeah, Illustrator is a nightmare to learn and then remember. And then another ye old crew says lots of the design and editing programs have to be relearned with each release, even if you do use it regularly, because they move everything around and add new shortcuts.
Well, I get it. You've got to make your software better. You've got to make it improved. I get that. I'm not against the idea. But my God, why do they have to re-interface it every step of the way? We've chatted before. I've become a grumpy old man. I think as part of their testing, they obviously do testing. They test and test and test. They should pull in a couple of grandmothers, or people like me even, smart people who are getting old a little bit, and have us test as well.
Yeah.
Not that they're going to change it the way we want it changed, but they should at least see the impact in the real world of some of what they're doing. Yeah. My mother became blocked out from the whole family by a single Skype release that she tried not to authorize.
Yeah. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Lunch, you brought lunch for me? What's that?
Omiyage?
Okay, we are the staff gathering around today, so obviously we're not going to persuade them. Just to recap where we are with this block. We've done a real mix. We've roughed out the areas that have black dots in them. I have roughed out around the hair. I haven't cut exactly up to the hair lines. I've done a bunch of persuading. Next, probably I'll clear out some of the really unneeded parts. And then to finish off this block, we will cut each of the dots individually, and then I will go back and slice now all the white spaces that come out of the hair. And then at the very end, we have some real classic ukiyo-e haircutting to do. And that'll be a stream all of its own. I've got to get myself sharpened up, and
that'll be fun.
Yeah, and that'll be fun. So there's still days of work to go on this block. Yeah. Today is Wednesday. I do have a sizing stream coming up. Ishikawa-san wants paper on Saturday. She may want it Friday, so in fact that's it. I think I am sizing tomorrow morning. She wants paper on Friday. This is tomorrow's my last free day to do that. Okay. So almost certainly we're going to be upstairs on the 3rd floor tomorrow doing sizing. And then after that we'll be back here working on this block. Okay. Thanks for the comments today, gang. Thanks for the generally good reaction to that video we put up last night. I still don't know for myself what it's all about.
All right. We will see you next time.
Good. Thanks for
Thanks
checking
a
in.
lot.
Okay, bye-bye. See you next time. Thank you.